If Excel says it removed duplicates, but your list still has repeats, you're not crazy. Something is making those rows look different to Excel. Most of the time, the issue isn't the button, it's the data. The Remove Duplicates tool compares cell values exactly, based on the columns you select. So tiny differences, like a hidden space, a different date format, or a blank that isn't truly blank, can stop a match. The good news is you can fix this fast once you know where to look. We'll walk through 7 common causes that make duplicates survive, and the simple checks that reveal each one. You'll also learn a clean workflow. Diagnose first, clean second, then remove duplicates with confidence. By the end, you'll know why Excel didn't remove what you expected, and you'll have a repeatable checklist you can use on any messy export, report, or copy-pasted table. Next step. Before fixing anything, do one quick sanity check. What exactly counts as a duplicate in your case? Excel only removes rows that match across the columns you choose in the dialog. If you select just email, then 2 rows with the same email are duplicates, even if names differ. If you select email and date, then both must match to be considered duplicates. This is the #1 reason people think remove duplicates is broken, because the selection doesn't match the business rule in their head. A simple way to validate is to pick one duplicate you can see and compare the cells across the selected columns. If one column differs, Excel is behaving correctly. Decide your rule first. Keep the first record, keep the latest, or keep the most complete row. Remove duplicates only keeps the first occurrence it encounters, so order matters too. Next step. Cause #1. Headers are confusing Excel. If your range selection is off by 1 row, Excel may treat a real data row as a header or treat the header as data. Either way, the comparison shifts and duplicates won't be detected the way you expect. In the Remove Duplicates dialog, there's a checkbox for My Data Has Headers. That box must match reality. If your table has a title row above the actual headers or merged cells, Excel can misread the structure. A reliable fix is to convert the range into an official Excel table first. Tables have clear headers, consistent columns, and Excel automatically targets the correct range. Also watch out for extra blank rows at the top. Those can make Excel guess wrong. Once headers are correctly recognized, rerun Remove Duplicates, and you'll often see the missing removals happen immediately. Next step. Cause #2. Blanks and not really blank cells. Excel treats truly empty cells differently from cells that contain a formula returning an empty string, like equals ... It also treats cells with only spaces as not blank. That matters because 2 rows that look identical may differ only by a phantom value in one column. A quick diagnostic is to use a helper column that checks length, like len, to see if a blank is actually 0 characters or more. Another check is count blank versus counting empty strings, because those aren't the same. To fix it, you can convert formulas to values when appropriate and strip spaces using trim. If you imported data, also consider cleaning non-breaking spaces, which trim doesn't remove. Once your blanks are truly consistent, duplicates become detectable again. Next step. Cause #3. Hidden spaces and invisible characters. This is common with copy-paste from websites, PDFs, or systems that insert special spacing. 2 names can look identical, but one has a trailing space, a leading space, or a non-printing character in the middle. Excel compares the underlying text, not what your eye sees. The fastest way to confirm is to compare lengths. If Acme is length 4 in one row and 5 in another, you've found the problem. For cleanup, trim handles leading and trailing spaces and reduces multiple spaces between words. Clean removes many non-printing characters, but not all. For stubborn cases, use substitute to replace the non-breaking space character with a normal space, then trim again. After that, deduping works the way you expected. Next step. Cause #4. Numbers stored as text, or text stored as numbers. A classic example is an ID like 001234. One row might store it as text to preserve leading zeros, while another stores it as a number, which drops those zeros. They may look similar depending on formatting, but Excel sees different values. The same happens with numeric strings that include a hidden apostrophe, or with imported CSVs where everything becomes text. To diagnose, check alignment. Text often aligns left by default, and use IS text or IS number in a helper column. To fix, decide on one consistent type. You can convert text numbers using value or text to columns or multiplying by 1. For IDs, you may need to force text and pad with zeros consistently before removing duplicates. Next step. Cause number 5. Dates and times that aren't truly the same. Dates in Excel are serial numbers underneath, and formatting can hide differences. Two cells may display the same date, but one includes a time like 12 a.m., and another includes a different time, or even seconds, or one date is actually text that only looks like a date. Remove duplicates will treat those as different. To diagnose, change the format temporarily to show date and time, or use INT to strict time and see if values align. You can also use IS number to confirm it's a real date serial. Fixing usually means converting text dates to real dates, and rounding or stripping time where your business rule only cares about the day. Once your date logic is consistent, duplicates start collapsing correctly. Next step. Cause number 6. Formatting isn't the issue until it is, because formatting can hide different underlying values. For example, two numbers can display as 1.2 due to rounding, but one is 1.24 and the other is 1.25. They look identical, but Excel compares the full stored value. The same happens with percentages, currency, and custom formats that mask decimals. Another trap is values produced by formulas. Two cells may display the same result, but if you dedupe across columns that include formula outputs, the underlying results might differ by a tiny fraction. To diagnose, increase decimal places or use round in a helper column. To fix, round to the precision you actually care about, then dedupe on the rounded values or paste values first. Next step. Cause number 7. You're deduping the wrong range, or the range isn't consistent. This happens when there are blank columns inside the data, extra spaces in column headers, or when the selection misses some rows. It also happens when your data includes merged cells, which can break the idea of a clean row-by-row record. A strong habit is to start from a single active cell and use Excel's table feature so the range expands correctly. If you can't use a table, at least confirm the last row and last column are included before running the tool. Also check that every row has the same number of populated columns. If one row shifts because of a missing delimiter in an import, it won't match the row you think it matches. Next step. Now let's put this into a practical workflow that you can reuse. Step 1 is diagnose with a helper column, not guesses. Pick the key fields you expect to define duplicates, like email, customer ID, or invoice number. Then build a normalized version of those fields. Trim for text, clean for non-printing characters, value for numeric text, and INT or round for dates and decimals. Step 2 is to compare the normalized fields, not the raw ones. This tells you whether the duplicates are real and exactly which column is causing the mismatch. Step 3 is to apply the cleanup to the original columns, or dedupe based on the normalized helper columns. This approach is calmer and faster than repeatedly clicking remove duplicates and hoping for a different result. It also creates a clear audit trail for why rows were considered the same. Next step. If you need more control than remove duplicates, use a formula-based check first. The simplest is countif on your key column, which flags values appearing more than once. For multi-column duplicates, you can create a combined key by joining fields with a separator, like email plus a pipe plus date. Then countif that combined key. This is especially useful when you want to review duplicates before deleting anything. Another option is advanced filter, with unique records only, which can copy a deduped list to a new location without touching the original. And if your goal is keep the latest record, remove duplicates alone won't decide that for you. You'd sort by date descending first, then remove duplicates on the ID, so the first row kept is the latest. The key idea is, decide the rule, then choose the tool that matches it. Next step. Let's cover a few quick edge cases that trip people up. First, case sensitivity. Remove duplicates is not case sensitive, so Acme and Acme are treated as the same. If you need case-sensitive uniqueness, you'll need a formula approach or Power Query. Second, leading and trailing zeros. For codes, decide whether 0012 and 12 should be considered the same or different. Then standardize. Third, line breaks inside cells. A cell can contain an invisible new line, especially from copy-paste. That makes text different even if it wraps nicely. Clean often removes line breaks, but not always, so you may need substitute with char 10. Finally, duplicates across multiple sheets. Remove duplicates works on one range at a time, so consolidate first if you need global uniqueness. These aren't the most common causes, but they explain a lot of "it still didn't work" moments. Next step. Here's a final checklist you can run in under 2 minutes. 1. Confirm you selected the right columns for your definition of duplicate. 2. Confirm headers are recognized correctly, ideally by using an Excel table. 3. Test one suspected duplicate pair with len and type checks like is_text. 4. Normalize text with trim, clean, and non-breaking space replacement if needed. 5. Standardize numbers and IDs so they share the same type and padding rules. 6. Fix dates by converting text dates and removing unwanted time. 7. Handle rounding by rounding to the precision you care about. Then run remove duplicates once, and trust the result. If you want, keep a backup copy of the original list so you can compare what changed. If this checklist saved you time, make one choice in the comments. Do you struggle more with duplicates caused by blanks or by formatting? A or B? Small tweaks compound into massive performance gains. Subscribe to catch the next workflow optimization.